Hi, and a very warm welcome to Wellbeing Mission Control. I'm glad you could join me. I'm Greg Perry. Please excuse the slightly scratchy voice. Probably just been talking too much over the past 24 hours. But I wanted to just talk very briefly today about where we set the limits for what we think is possible versus what is impossible. Some years ago, I was working with a bunch of athletes, and it was very interesting to talk to them about how they could improve their performance because it seemed that the limit to what they were capable of achieving was very much set by their mind. That sounds counterintuitive because we'd assumed that it was their bodies that were saying, oh, we've done enough, we're exhausted, we've got to stop. But it seems that it's the mental component that makes the biggest difference. You probably saw a very famous video too of a guy who was being trained by a former member of the Special Forces who told him that most of us quit when we're barely at the 40% mark because that's where we feel we've reached our limit, that's our boundary. But it is for most of us an artificial limit. Most of us settle for far less in terms of what we're capable of achieving, what we're really capable of doing. And it doesn't mean breaking the machine, but it's very interesting to decide that you have limitations which are on a much, much broader field, that you're capable of expressing far more, that your potential is asking you perhaps to dig a little deeper. And that's not just in terms of what you achieve in material terms. I think it's equally important in terms of your health, your well-being, your capacity for joy, for happiness and fulfillment. Because I sometimes suspect we create a ceiling for these particular expressions, which is a little bit too low. And the real potential is much, much grander. It's on a much broader scale. And when people touch on that potential, they experience extraordinary changes in their life. So where we set the limit seems to be very much a mental construct. And if you feel there's more, try shifting the boundaries just a little bit and see what happens. What do you think? Is it a good idea? Well, despite my croaky voice, I'm always delighted to hear from you. People are leaving me emails and voicemails. It's just fabulous to have the communication. Send me your thoughts, your ideas, your suggestions and experiences. They're always extremely welcome. And whilst I aim to be back with you very soon, allow me to wish you a wonderful day.